Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be getting into my Blu-ray collection. I got a complete Blu-ray and DVD collection coming for you. I've been putting this off for a number of months just because I've had a really busy schedule. I wanted to get these new shelves in before doing so, but I've been really looking forward to this. It's been a year and a half or so now since I've done an updated Blu-ray collection. I now have a little over 700 Blu-rays and DVDs in my collection, so lots of exciting, great stuff to show off. So let's get ready to jump in. Welcome once again. My name is Austin, and on this channel we talk about one of my favorite things in the world, movies, and how I tie together my faith with film and everything that's in between. So a Blu-ray collection video is always a fun one to kind of get to go through, because I feel like a collection is very much a representation of yourself, your interests, your passions, and it's just an all-around enjoyable, relaxing video. Typically, I try to move along fairly quickly in these because there's a lot to go through, but I might take my time a little bit more in this one, give you some recommendations along the way of maybe some lesser popular movies or just some of my all-time favorites. So we're just going to enjoy this, take our time, and go through showing off my collection. So I'm going to mention my collection is categorized by genre and then alphabetically. So this top row is sci-fi and fantasy. This second row is in continuation of that till about halfway through. Then we have some horror over here. Below that, we have action movies for this whole row. Below that, we have drama and comedies. I have a Christmas section, and then an animated section, and then some DVDs. So that's kind of how we're going to go through things. We'll start with these sci-fi fantasy movies up top here. Starting things off, we have Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I think this is a really underrated movie. I kind of scoffed at this one when it first came out, like, come on, really, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? But then I watched it finally years later, and I've seen it 3 or 4 times since, and I like it more every single time. It's a really, really fun one. Next, we have Alien Covenant. This is one of the Alien movies. I really like this one. I think it's pretty underrated in the Alien franchise. Also up here, we have, hopefully these hold, Alien and Aliens. I also have up top here, you might be able to see some collector's box set for those. Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I really love that one. And I have multiple copies of that. So then we have The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Next, we got Aquaman. I like this slipcover on this one, kind of like a matte finish. But this has just always been like a really fun, kind of like B-movie, almost, sort of. I've always really enjoyed it amongst the DC filmography. Next, we have Arrival on 4K. This is one of my favorite Denis Villeneuve films. It's a really great sci-fi film. It does sci-fi in a really, really interesting, really grounded way of like a really realistic response to if aliens showed up one day. Next, we have Avatar. Eventually I will be upgrading this one to 4K, but I love this extended collector's edition Blu-ray set. I can't wait for Avatar: The Way of Water to come out in a couple of weeks. Can't wait to grab that one. Next, we have Alien vs. Predator double feature. So I've always really liked the first Alien vs. Predator movie. It's fun. It's not the best. It's kind of cheesy at times and whatnot, but I've always enjoyed it. The second one is pretty bad. I've only seen that one, I think, once through. Definitely not very good amongst that collection. But next we have Back to the Future, some classics. I would like to get these on 4K at some point, but just haven't pulled the trigger on it. This is the 25th anniversary one, so I need to get that 40th anniversary 4K set. Next we have Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition. I'd like to get that one on 4K at some point too, just haven't pulled the trigger on it. Next we got The Batman, one of my favorite movies from last year. I love the score. I love the mood of the movie. I think Robert Pattinson as Batman is great. And then you also have Paul Dano as the Riddler, which is really good, and Zoe Kravitz, Black Cat, or Catwoman. Great movie. I can't wait to see more from that. Next, we have Beauty and the Beast, probably one of my favorite of the live-action remakes that Disney has done. Then we have Birds of Prey on 4K. Blade Runner 2049, also on 4K, another one of my favorite Denis Villeneuve films. Next, I won't pull this one out because it's kind of holding some stuff up here, but we got the Blomkamp trilogy. So this is District 9, Chappie, and Elysium on Blu-ray. District 9's obviously my favorite of the two. I really like Chappie too. Elysium I've only seen once. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. I do want to give it another try though. After that, whoa, we almost lost that Blomkamp trilogy. We have Bumblebee. One of my favorite Transformers movies for sure, of the live action ones. Next we have The Book of Eli, a really great Denzel Washington kind of post-apocalyptic movie. I've always thought that one's pretty underrated. Chronicle, a really cool found footage style superhero movie. Next we have the Narnia trilogy. So I got The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and Voyage of the Dawn Treader. We're getting a new Netflix series for that, so we'll see how that goes. But I've always liked that. They progressively kind of get worse movie-wise, but they also get more interesting, I think, as they go on spiritually. Next, we have Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans. I haven't seen those in a long time, but I got them from a buddy of mine. Cowboys versus Aliens. This is another one, like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, that I put off for a long time because I thought it was a stupid idea. But I watched it, and I actually really enjoyed it. Next, we got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is a really great martial arts film. Lots of amazing wire work and stunts in this one. Really great performances from Chow Yun-fat and Michelle Yeoh and Zhang Ziyi. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but really great one. I kind of like to get this one on 4K at some point, but I'm happy with the Blu-ray for now. Next, we got The Day After Tomorrow. This is the Walmart slipcover that they did a little while ago. I really like this cover on it, but really fun kind of end-of-the-world adventure drama. Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid are really great in this one. I think they give really good performances. Next, we got Deadpool, the complete collection for now. So this is Deadpool and Deadpool 2. This has the super duper cut for Deadpool 2. And then I also have Once Upon a Deadpool, the PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2. Which apparently is kind of hard to find these days. Next, we have the Divergent trilogy. So we got Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant. They never finished this one. The movies progressively got worse, but I like them enough. Next, we have Dune Part 1 from Denis Villeneuve. Probably my favorite movie of his. I loved this movie. I can't wait for Part 2. Next, we have End of Watch. I just got this one in my collection a year or so ago. Finally watched it a couple months back for the first time. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was really great. I kind of wasn't sure about the found footage style at first because it's kind of blended with traditional filmmaking, but it really works within the movie. Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena are great together. They have really good chemistry. The camaraderie, the arguing between them is just so much fun. It's like they've been best friends for life. So really great one. If like me, you haven't seen this one before, check it out. It's really great. Now we have Ender's Game, really cool sci-fi movie. I need to read the book on this one. I have the audiobook, but I haven't read it yet because I really like this movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once, one of the most popular movies from last year. I really liked it. I thought it was really fun. I need to give it another watch. I've still only seen it once, but looking forward to checking that one out again. Then we got a couple of the Fantastic Beasts movies. I have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and then Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I don't have the new one because I started it on HBO. Didn't like it, so I don't think I'll add it to the collection. I didn't even finish the movie. Next, we got Free Guy, one of Ryan Reynolds' movies from a year or two ago. This was a ton of fun. I thought this one was just a great time. It's all around just ridiculous, crazy, really fun video game in real life kind of thing. It's a really great time. Next, we got Glass. This is part of the Unbreakable trilogy that I keep these just alphabetical still. So Glass, really cool one. It wasn't an amazing conclusion to the trilogy, but it was still good. Then we got Godzilla on Blu-ray. This is one I definitely need to get on 4K. I was able to get this one for free, so I'm holding on to it for now until I can get the 4K on this one. Continuing with the Godzilla movies, we got Godzilla King of the Monsters on Blu-ray, and then Godzilla vs. Kong on 4K. Next, we got The Green Knight on 4K. I really liked this the first time I watched it. It's not one I'm going to rewatch all that often, but it's a gorgeous movie. It's a really interesting, thought-provoking story. It's slow, it's weird, but I liked it. So I do want to give this one another watch too. Next, we got the Harry Potter collection on Blu-ray. I love these movies. They're so much fun to just get swept up in and just get lost in the world of Harry Potter and Hogwarts, all that stuff. We'll see how this new HBO series goes, but for me, these movies are all I need. They're great. Next, we got the Hunger Games 4 movie collection. So this is Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and then Mockingjay 1 and 2. Catching Fire is my favorite of these. I only really like the first two. After that, they're okay. All right, let's try and pick the pace up a little bit here. In Time, really underrated, I think. I really like this one. And then you got I Am Legend, a really cool Will Smith one. I Am Dragon, this is another underrated one. This is German, I believe. It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast, but if the guy was a dragon instead. So that's a cool one. And then you got iRobot, staple of the early 2000s sci-fi. Next we got, oh, these are out of order. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Jumanji, The Next Level, really fun. I hope we can get more of these because I really like both of those. The Island, one of my favorite Michael Bay movies. Interstellar, one of my favorite Nolan movies. And Inception, this is the Blu-ray Steelbook, another one of my favorite Nolan movies. Next we got Zack Snyder's Justice League on 4K, amazing movie. Then we got the Justice League, I'm keeping it for sake of having it so you can compare the two. Jurassic World, these are out of order. Hold on. Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and then Jurassic World. For me, these are the only Jurassic Park movies I need. The rest of them are just okay. Then we have King Kong. Then we have Kong Skull Island, part of the Godzilla movies. Life, really underrated sci-fi, I think. This, I didn't watch for the longest time because I thought it was just a rehash of Alien, but it's quite different, really good performances, and really crazy ending too. And then we have Limitless, another cool sci-fi movie. Next we have Logan on Blu-ray. This comes with the black and white edition too. And then Lord of the Rings, the theatrical version trilogy on Blu-ray. And then also with Lord of the Rings, I have the trilogy, the theatrical and extended cuts on 4K. I got the Hobbit Blu-ray trilogy, extended editions, and then the Lord of the Rings Blu-ray extended editions. And then while we're at it, I have the Fellowship of the Ring DVD extended edition and the Two Towers DVD extended edition. I love Lord of the Rings. I just need to get the Return of the King DVD extended edition, then I'll be all set Lord of the Rings wise. Next we have Love and Monsters, really great underrated movie from 2020, I believe. Dylan O'Brien's really great. Just fun, end of the world, post-apocalyptic sci-fi, really cool. Man of Steel, amazing, one of the best DC movies. And then The Martian on 4K. Okay, this next section, I'm going to try to make it as quick as I can because it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we're still going to show it. So we have the first Iron Man on Blu-ray, The Incredible Hulk on Blu-ray, Iron Man 2, Thor, I keep these in chronological order. Captain America, the First Avenger, or release order, not chronological. Marvel's The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor, The Dark World, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on 4K, Spider-Man Homecoming on Blu-ray, Thor Ragnarok on Blu-ray, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home on 4K, Black Widow on 4K, Eternals on 4K, Shang-Chi, one of my favorite of the most recent 8 or so movies because it's the only great one they've made, unfortunately. Spider-Man Homecoming on 4K, the only other one that I think I really love. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and then Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I still need to get the new Ant-Man. I just watched it on Disney+. The first MCU movie I don't think I really liked, but I collect all the MCU movies, so I'm going to buy it eventually. I just don't want to pay much for it. Next, we have The Matrix on 4K. I just watched this on 4K for the first time and loved it. It was fantastic. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. The Maze Runner, Maze Runner Scorch Trials, and Maze Runner Death Cure. The Meg, I really like this one. I think it's a fun kind of B movie. I'm really excited for the new one too. The Mummy, this is the only Mummy movie I've seen, but I love that one. We got Mulan, the live action one. The only one of the other live action movies that I like of theirs. New Mutants, I like that one. I thought it's underrated for sure. Nope on 4K, one of the best movies from last year. I loved that one. Now You See Me and Now You See Me 2. And then Pacific Rim. I need to get this one on 4K. All right, on to the second row, continuing with sci-fi fantasy. We have Pan's Labyrinth and Passengers on 4K. I don't know if I've watched this since I've gotten the 4K, but this movie was filmed at like 6K, so I've heard it's gorgeous. Next we have, if I can get them out of here, Pirates of the Caribbean. So this is the 4-movie collection. So this is Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, and On Stranger Tides. I do still need to get Dead Men Tell No Tales. I didn't love it, but I do like all the Pirates movies enough. Next, we have Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I get these names mixed up sometimes. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then War for the Planet of the Apes. Amazing trilogy. I do need to get those on 4K as well. Predator on 4K. Predators on Blu-ray. Another underrated one. I really like that one. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. I do really like that one. I think it's kind of underrated. Project Almanac. Another kind of like chronicle, like what would real people do with superpowers. This is what would real teenagers do with a time machine. So that one's really fun too. Prometheus, another one of the Alien movies. I like that one too. It's a beautiful movie. Next we have Ready Player One on Blu-ray. RoboCop on Blu-ray. I just watched that one not terribly long ago for the first time. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on 4K. I still haven't had a chance to watch it since I got the 4K, but I love the movie. Shaun of the Dead. This is a cool Blu-ray steelbook that my brother got me a couple years ago for my birthday. And then Shazam on Blu-ray. Next we have Small Soldiers on Blu-ray. So glad we got a Blu-ray for that. Speed Racer. Really underrated. Really, really underrated. That's a great movie. Spaceballs on Blu-ray. The original Spider-Man trilogy on Blu-ray. I need to get that one on 4K. Star Trek. This is from the reboot-ish trilogy, Kelvin timeline or whatever. I'm not a really Star Trek guy, but I like this trilogy. Star Trek Into Darkness and then Star Trek Beyond. All right, now we'll go into my Star Wars collection. So this is the prequel trilogy on Blu-ray. I got the trilogy sets for these. And then Han Solo, A Star Wars Story. I keep these in order, so I fill in the filler ones. Rogue One, Star Wars Story, the best thing besides Andor that Disney's done with Star Wars, I think. The original trilogy on Blu-ray. Then you got The Force Awakens, that's the steelbook. The Last Jedi on Blu-ray, and The Rise of Skywalker on Blu-ray. Next we have Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad on 4K. I like Suicide Squad, and I really liked The Suicide Squad. And then we have Super 8. That's a really cool steelbook for it. Then we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the 90s movies, the live-action ones. That's the trilogy there. Tenet on 4K, one of my favorite movies to bump through my sound system. That bass is insane. The Terminator, and then Terminator 2 Judgment Day on 4K. Then we got They Live on 4K. I need to watch this on 4K. I streamed it somewhere. I don't remember where. It was like HBO or Netflix or something, and loved it so much I went and bought the Blu-ray like the next day and still haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Total Recall on 4K. Love that one. Tron Legacy. We really need a 4K for that one. That's a great one. Unbreakable. And then we got the Underworld movies. So Underworld, I think this is just, these are some of my like guilty pleasures. Underworld Evolution, Underworld Rise of the Lycans. Really like that steelbook there. Underworld Awakening, and then Underworld Blood Wars. I need to go through those movies again because it's been a while, and they're just fun vampire versus Lycan movies. Next we have Venom on Blu-ray. I like this one enough. It's not what I wanted in a Venom movie, but I enjoyed it more than the new one, so I don't even think I'm going to add the new one to the collection. Warm Bodies on Blu-ray. Westworld on Blu-ray. This is the original movie from the 70s. I like this one. It's good. Wolverine on Blu-ray. The Wolverine, if that matters. Wonder Woman on Blu-ray. And then this is Wonder Woman 1984. I don't remember if this is the 4K steelbook. Yeah, it is. So the 4K steelbook for Wonder Woman 84. One of my best friends got me that. And then wrapping up the sci-fi fantasy, we have The World's End, X-Men Dark Phoenix, X-Men Beginnings trilogy. So this is the prequel trilogy, and then X-Men 3 movie collection, so the originals, And then we have this triple feature for Goonies, Gremlins, and Gremlins 2. All right, now for the horror section. We are starting off with horror movies. I've only really got into horror over the past maybe 8 to 10 years or so. So I don't have a huge horror collection. It's not my favorite genre, but I do really like it, and I'm glad I've gotten into it. There's some amazing movies there. So we'll start things off with 10 Cloverfield Lane. And then you got As Above, So Below. I think that one's pretty underrated as far as found footage goes. The Black Phone, a really great one from last year. The Cabin in the Woods, probably one of my favorite horror movies on 4K for that one. Crawl, I need to give this one another watch because I loved that one the first time. Doctor Sleep. I'm not a huge Shining fan. I like it, but I love Doctor Sleep. I haven't read any of the books, but like movie-wise, I'm a huge Mike Flanagan fan, so I love Doctor Sleep. I've only seen the theatrical of that one. I do need to check out the extended because I've heard it's great. And then we got Get Out on Blu-ray. Next, we have my So Far Halloween collection. So we got the original John Carpenter's Halloween on 4K. Halloween, the 2018 one. Then we got Halloween Kills on Blu-ray. I still need to get Halloween Ends. I'm just waiting for a good deal on it. Happy Death Day on Blu-ray and Happy Death Day 2. I really like those. Those are really fun. And then I got The Invisible Man. This is the 4K, but when I got it originally, I got the Blu-ray. Then I found the 4K, but it didn't have a slipcover. And I really liked that slipcover, so I just kept the slipcover and put it on there. And then we have the first It movie. I had both It movies, It and It Chapter 2, but I don't like the second one as much, so I just kept the digital copy and got rid of the Blu-ray. All right, next we have Jaws on 4K. This looks amazing on 4K. Last Night in Soho on 4K. Really great Edgar Wright movie from a couple years ago. Pretty underrated, and not a lot of people talk about that one. The Lost Boys on Blu-ray. 80s horror staple. Malignant. I loved Malignant. The Night House. Really underrated horror movie. The Others. And then Overlord, Nazi Zombies for the win. Next, we have A Quiet Place. This is the Steelbook for the Blu-ray. Then we have A Quiet Place, the 4K Steelbook. I love both of these Steelbooks, so I couldn't get rid of them. The one when I got the new one. And then A Quiet Place Part 2 on 4K. I didn't like the Steelbook as much for the second one, so I just got the regular 4K. And then Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now we got some Scream movies. So this is the Scream 3 movie collection. So Scream 1, 2, and 3. And then a couple documentary movies too. 2 documentaries. Then we got Scream 4. And then I have another Scream collection. This is the original Scream on 4K and Scream 5 on 4K. I still got to see Scream 6. That comes out in just a month or so. Can't wait to check that one out. We have The Shallows on Blu-ray with that really cool lenticular. I love The Shallows. Then we have Sleepy Hollow on Blu-ray and Split. I kind of put Split in the horror category, so why not? And then rounding off the horror section, we have The Thing. This is the 2011 one that I really like. I'd only seen that one for the longest time. And then The Thing, the original on 4K. Train to Busan, one of the best zombie movies ever made. Trick or Treat on Blu-ray. Willy's Wonderland. Watch that one. That one's fun. And then Zombieland and Zombieland Double Tap. So that wraps up horror. So let's move into action. Starting things off, we got Air Force One. No, we don't. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Fantastic movie. 300. I also have 300 Rise of an Empire. It's just in my section of movies I haven't watched. I'll show all those too. 1917 on 4K. The Accountant on Blu-ray. Really great movie. I hope we can get another one for that. Act of Valor on Blu-ray. Air Force One. Now we're at Air Force One on Blu-ray. Then we got Ambulance on 4K. One of the better Michael Bay movies recently. Assassin's Creed Lineage. This is like the live action prequel that they made. It's kind of cool. It's like early virtual production kind of thing. And it's pretty cool. I checked it out years ago when it first came out and remembered liking it. And then I found it for like $2 somewhere and grabbed it. And it doesn't look as good. It doesn't hold up great, but it's still fun. And then you got Baby Driver on Blu-ray and Behind Enemy Lines on Blu-ray. I have the Jason Bourne trilogy on Blu-ray, and then I also have Jason Bourne on Blu-ray. I don't have Legacy, never seen it, don't really intend to. Then we have Bullet Train on 4K. Love this one, pretty underrated from last year. Commando, Con Air on Blu-ray, and Cop Shop on Blu-ray. Another really underrated one. Check that one out. It's like a throwback to like an 80s action thriller. Next, go into some more Batman. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises, the Nolan Batman trilogy. And then we have the Die Hard collection. So this is Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, and 4. It doesn't have 5, but I've heard 5 is horrible, so I don't think I'm missing out. And then we got Django Unchained, the Blu-ray Steelbook. Probably my favorite Tarantino movie. It goes back and forth between this and Inglourious Bastards. All right, check this amazing set out. This is Jackie Chan's Dragons Forever. Really great one from the 80s. I had never seen it before. The set looked amazing. It's the 4K. It's a great movie. Really fun. Really, really amazing stunt work. Anything older from Jackie Chan is great and pretty much a guaranteed like. We have Dredd, really underrated. Dunkirk on 4K. I haven't had a chance to watch this one since getting the 4K. I need to. Eagle Eye on Blu-ray. Edge of Tomorrow or Live, Die, Repeat. I do need to get that on or 4K at some point. And then Equalizer. I like Equalizer 2. I just haven't gotten it in the collection yet. And we'll see how Equalizer 3 does. Next, couple quick ones. Escape Plan. And then Face Off. And then we have all my Fast and Furious movies. I got a lot of these for a really good deal. Eventually, I might just buy the big box set so I don't have all of this. But Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Furious 6, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and then F9. Have not had a chance to see F10 yet, or FX, whatever you want to call it. Should have been called Fasten Your Seatbelts, but we'll move on. Next, we have Jackie Chan's First Strike. So this is, where is it from? 97. So it's a 90s Jackie Chan. It's technically Police Story 4. You'll see some more police stories in a little bit, but I just kept it separate for alphabetical sake. Flyboys on Blu-ray. Fury on Blu-ray. Gladiator. Glory. Really good one from the late 80s, I think, on 4K. And then The Gray. We got Hacksaw Ridge on Blu-ray. And then we have what I call the Has Fallen trilogy. I think there's another one, so we're just going to have to go with the Has Fallen collection or saga or something. So again, we got London Has Fallen and Angel Has Fallen. These are really fun, kind of like throwback action movies. Hot Fuzz, Steelbook, love that one. And then I Saw the Devil. I Saw the Devil is one of the best Korean thrillers I've ever seen. It's fantastic. All right, next we got some more foreign stuff. So Ip Man, Ip Man 2, Ip Man 3, and Ip Man 4. I really like all of these. They're hit and miss in some senses of story accuracy, but the action's great and just gets better in all of them. So they're really fun. The Italian Job, cool steelbook for that one. Jack Reacher, and then Jack Reacher Never Go Back. I like these, but that new series on Amazon is excellent. It's even better. All right, I might throw you off a bit with this one because we're in the J's, so I call all these the James Bond movies, but they're, the Daniel Craig ones. So we got Casino Royale on Blu-ray, Quantum of Solace on Blu-ray, Skyfall, Spectre on 4K, and No Time to Die on 4K. And then I got John Wick 1 through 3 on 4K. All right, continuing on, A Knight's Tale, Last Action Hero, The Last Duel. Incredibly underrated movie. You gotta check this one out. It's really, really great. The Last Samurai, The Legend of Tarzan. I love Tarzan, so I really liked that one. The Professional. This is the 4K steelbook, Leon the Professional. And then Lone Survivor on Blu-ray. That's also a steelbook. All right, got a little bit of a bigger stack here. Mad Max Fury Road on Blu-ray. The Magnificent Seven. Man on a Ledge, one of my wife's favorite movies. The Mask of Zorro on 4K. Mission Impossible 1 through 5. So that's 1, 2, 3. Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation. And then Fallout on Blu-ray. I need to upgrade at least Fallout to 4K. Need for Speed. Nobody on 4K. Pretty great action movie. Old Boy. That's actually coming out with a 4K soon. So I'm excited about that. The Patriot, and Police Story 1 and 2. So that's that Jackie Chan First Strike. These are the first two Police Story movies. And then we also have Police Story 3. This just came out a month or so ago. This is the 4K. Great. This one actually brought in Michelle Yeoh. Loved it. Next we have Premium Rush. This is a really fun, unique movie. And then we have the Raid Collection. The first Raid's coming out with a 4K. They just finished the transfer. I can't wait for that. Red and Red 2. And then this is a really cool one. This Red Cliff Part 1 and 2. I consider these one movie, even though they're broken up, to kind of like how I look at the Lord of the Rings movies. So together, this is like a 4.5 hour movie. It's fantastic. It's by John Woo, actually. The Revenant on Blu-ray and The Rock on Blu-ray. All right, some more foreign stuff. One of my favorite samurai series, Rurouni Kenshin Origins. Then you got Rurouni Kenshin Kyoto Inferno. Actually, not trilogy, just series. I forget it's not a trilogy anymore. Rurouni Kenshin The Legend Ends. And then we have Rurouni Kenshin The Final, The Beginning. And Rurouni Kenshin The Final. No, that other one's The Final, The End. No. Rurouni Kenshin The Final and then Rurouni Kenshin The Beginning. It's confusing because this is the last one chronologically and this one's a prequel, but it's the last movie. But they're all great. I love those. Sahara on Blu-ray. Seven Samurai on Blu-ray. That's the Criterion. Shadow on Blu-ray. Don't know why I held my S there. Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows on Blu-ray. Shooter. Sicario. Sicario, The Day of the Soldado. Just got to check this one out for the first time a few weeks ago. Really liked it. Speed on 4K. Spirit Walker. Really interesting movie. Check this out. After waking up from a car crash, unable to remember anything about his life, a man begins regaining consciousness in a new body every 12 hours. Now he must piece together his identity, all while evading attacks from pursuing agents and dangerous criminals alike. But with no memory and no allies, his time is running out. Really cool Korean action thriller. Streets of Fire. That's a cool one. Taken, the only Taken movie you need in your collection. Tomb Raider, one of the better video game adaptations, and Tomorrow When the War Began. Really cool. I was going to say apocalyptic, but it's not. Like an invasion film. Really cool. Next we got The Town, one of Ben Affleck's best directed movies. Training Day. Tropic Thunder, hilarious action comedy. True Grit, that's the one from, oh gosh. Yeah, 2011. I like that one. Uncharted. Upgrade. Speaking of upgrade, I need to upgrade to 4K. It's either out or coming soon. And then The Villainess, another good foreign film. Okay, finishing off action movies, we have the first Top Gun, that's the Blu-ray Steelbook, and then Top Gun Maverick on 4K. Wrath of Man, pretty underrated movie, I think. Nerve, that's one of my wife's, another one of her favorites. And then this is Blade of the Immortal and 13 Assassins. Blade of the Immortal, I think, is good. But 13 Assassins I love. Moving on to drama and comedy. These stick together because of stickers. 21 Jump Street, and 22 Jump Street. You got 42, the Jackie Robinson story. American Gangster. Just watched this last night as of recording this video for the first time. Great movie. Birdman. Catch Me If You Can on Blu-ray. I don't think there's a 4K for this, but we need one. That'd be great. Chasing Mavericks. Chef. Don't eat this movie. Don't eat this movie. Don't eat this movie. Don't watch this movie while you're hungry. And even if you are eating, you're going to wish you had the food they make in this movie. Contagion. Crazy Rich Asians. Creed and Creed 2. The Farewell. I need to give this one a rewatch. The first time I watched it, it made me bawl my eyes out. Cruella on 4K. Really good one of the live action films. Date Night. Fun comedy. Deepwater Horizon. Yeah, that's more of a drama. That's why I have it in there. Drive. Blu-ray. Steelbook. And then The Fabelmans. Love this. Just checked that one out finally after it came out last year. Loved it. We got Following. Christopher Nolan's first film. Ford v Ferrari. Fight Club. Just watched that one for the first time a couple weeks ago. Fighting with My Family on Blu-ray, really fun family comedy drama. Definitely check that one out. Game Night, one of my favorite comedies of the past 15 or so years. Get Smart, one of my favorites from my childhood. And Gone Girl. Next we have Good Will Hunting, another one that'll make you bawl your eyes out. Good Night or Good Morning. This is a movie that a friend of mine made when he was in high school. He's into filmmaking. I put a certified fresh Rotten Tomatoes sticker on there for him because I thought that would be fun. But the rarest movie in my collection. I think there was only like 100 or 200 of these made. Then we got The Greatest Showman, Grown Ups, and Grown Ups 2. Hairspray, another one of my wife's favorites. And Heat on 4K. Just got the 4K for this one. This was a cool one because I just watched it a week or two ago after I had my wisdom teeth out. And I liked it the first time. I loved it the second time. It also is a great 4K. All right, next we have Here Comes the Boom, another good family-friendly comedy. Hidden Figures. I Can Only Imagine, a generally pretty good Christian movie. Those don't come out too often. The Impossible. In the Heights, perfect summertime movie. Django Unchained and Inglourious Bastards. It was a cheaper way for me to get Inglourious Bastards, and I'm not mad about owning 2 copies of Django. And then you got Insomnia, another earlier Christopher Nolan movie with Al Pacino. Really good one. Then we got King Richard on Blu-ray. Nope. I first, Austin. I before K. Instant Family, another great family-friendly comedy. The Intern, another great family-friendly drama comedy. The Internship, not family-friendly, but hilarious movie. Jesus Revolution, one of the better Christian movies, came out earlier this year. The Kid Detective, pretty underrated. And there's King Richard. I love King Richard. Okay, now we got Knives Out. Hopefully we could get a Blu-ray for Knives Out too. That'd be awesome. Knives Outer. La La Land. Little Women. The Lost City on 4K. Memento. And Memories of Murder. Earlier Bong Joon-ho movie. That's the criterion for that one. Then we have Missing. Really great, really cool storytelling in that. They tell it through computer screens, but it's really well done and creative. Moneyball on Blu-ray. Monty Python The Holy Grail. Napoleon Dynamite 2, my favorite comedies from growing up. National Treasure and National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. Night at the Museum. Night at the Museum 2, Secret of the Tomb. And then Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian. I enjoyed those growing up. Nightcrawler, one of, if not Jake Gyllenhaal's best performances. No Escape. You want to see Owen Wilson do something besides comedy? Check out No Escape. It's really, really edge of your seat. And then we have the Oceans Trilogy on Blu-ray. This is a box set. It's got the first 3 movies in there, and then there's like a themed deck of cards in there, which is cool. Next, we have October Sky. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, one of my favorite hangout movies. The Outfit, really underrated movie. Check that one out. It's a cool drama thriller. Parasite, Pig, Pitch Perfect, another one of my wife's favorites. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Great comedy drama. The Prestige, Priceless, another good Christian movie. Check that one out. The Princess Bride on Blu-ray. Ragamuffin, probably the best Christian movie. Raging Bull. Rear Window on 4K. And then Remember the Titans on Blu-ray. We got the Rush Hour trilogy. Love those movies. The Sandlot. This is the 20th anniversary Blu-ray. School of Rock. Probably my favorite Jack Black. Searching. The first one to that Missing movie. Shawshank Redemption. Steelbook. Need to get that 4K at some point too. She's the Man on Blu-ray. Shutter Island. One of my favorite movies of all time. Sing Street. Such a feel-good, inspiring movie with amazing music. I'm getting hungry. We got to move along here. Snowden. The Social Network. Spencer. Really good one. Stand By Me. And A Star is Born. Steelbook. All right, I got some more guilty pleasures for you. Step Up. Step Up 2. Step Up 3. And Step Up Revolution. I think there's a 5th one, but I've heard it's bad. I've only seen these. Really enjoyed these growing up. The Switch. Funny comedy. And That Thing You Do. This Means War. Tombstone. Don't have too many Westerns in the collection, but Twins. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Love this movie. Uncle Buck. You can't go wrong with John Candy and John Hughes. The Johns together, perfect. Warrior. The Way, Way Back. Nope, not yet. The Way Back and The Way, Way Back. There's also a movie called The Way. Never seen it, but I want it just so I can say I have The Way Back, and The Way, Way Back. We got Whiplash, Steelbook, Wind River, Young Frankenstein, and then another trilogy pack, Blazing Saddles. I've only seen this one of the trilogy, Caddyshack, and then European Vacation. Alright, hopefully you're still hanging with me. If you are, let me know in the comments, or maybe you're watching this in parts. We got Christmas movies now, so that's the end of dramas and comedies. So we got Christmas, animated, and then some DVDs. Anna and the Apocalypse, Christmas Carol, that's the Jim Carrey one. Christmas Vacation, Elf, need this one on 4K. Fat Man, Fred Claus, Home Alone and Home Alone 2. The Grinch, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original. Then the live action Jim Carrey one. It's a Wonderful Life, Krampus, and Jingle All the Way. And then rounding off Christmas movies, Miracle on 34th Street, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Polar Express, The Santa Claus, and The Santa Claus 3. I still need to get 2. And then some of the classics. So this is the original specials collection. So you got Rudolph, Frosty, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And then for some reason that one doesn't include The Year Without a Santa Claus, so I had to get that one separate. And then you got the Peanuts Holiday Collection. Okay, animated movies. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and Milo Returns. Barnyard. Batman Under the Red Hood, probably my favorite Batman animated movie. Big Hero 6. Despicable Me and Despicable Me 2. Still got to get the third one. Fantastic Mr. Fox, one of my favorite stop motion animated. Frankenweenie, Hotel Transylvania, and Hotel Transylvania 2. I bet you got worried there for a minute, but I do have Hotel Transylvania 3. Don't worry. How to Train Your Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and How to Train Your Dragon 3. The Incredibles, The Iron Giant, Jimmy Neutron, and Joseph King of Dreams. All right. Kubo and the Two Strings on 4K. Amazing movie. Mitchell's versus the Machines. Really great animated. We don't get a lot of Netflix stuff on Blu-ray, so you got to get it when you can. The Lego Movie. I don't have the second one. Madagascar. Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa. And Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. All right, some Ghibli stuff. My Neighbor Totoro. Ponyo. And then Prince of Egypt. I need that 4K for sure. Ron's Gone Wrong on 4K. Great movie, underrated animated movie. The Secret Life of Pets. Still got to get the second one. And then Sing. I still got to get the second one for that. And then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on 4K. Just rewatched this one. It's still absolutely great. And the second one's probably better. I loved it. I actually just did a review of Across the Spider-Verse last week on the channel, so check that one out if you haven't. Spirited Away. Sword of the Stranger, great samurai anime movie. Tarzan, TMNT, Treasure Planet, one of my favorite Disney animated movies. Trolls, Turbo, and Zootopia. All right, so these are the movies that I haven't seen that are in my collection. Most of them I got from my wife's uncle, who gave them to me because he was cleaning out some movies he didn't need anymore because he's going digital. So there's that 302 that I that I mentioned. 500 Days of Summer. Across the Universe. Again, all these I've not seen. Apollo 13. Begin Again. Best in Show. Dances with Wolves. The Fighter. Full Metal Jacket. The Girl on the Train. I Still Believe. Lawrence of Arabia. Little Big Soldier. Minari. Sideways. The Warlords. When Harry Met Sally. Where the Crawdads Sing. Zoolander, and a double pack for Ben-Hur and the Ten Commandments. So miscellaneous, I got this VHS pack of the Blu-rays for The Karate Kid. The Notebook on DVD, that's my wife's. And then we got my DVD collection. Angel Wars, it's not really movies, but they're Christian animated things from growing up. Angel Wars 2 and Angel Wars 3. I enjoyed them and I want my son to watch them too. The Benchwarmers, Cool Runnings, the Hot Wheels Acceleracers set, For the Life of the World, the Pink Panther collection, and then this one is missing from it, so Return of the Pink Panther, and The Village. So that wraps up my complete Blu-ray and DVD collection. I would like to do a TV show one too, because I have a decent TV collection, but I don't want to make this video too long. So I am planning on doing a TV collection and an updated movie room tour soon in the coming month or so. So keep an eye out for those. Thank you for checking out this video. I hope you stuck around to the end just to kind of see my collection, a bit of my personality from it, and what my interests are as far as movies go. Thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. I'm about done with my voice. I'm hungry. The baby's nap is almost over. So let's wrap this thing up. I will see you in the next one.